Clark Terry is a world-class artist on trumpet and flugelhorn, who's best known for his extensive career with both the Count Basie and Duke Ellington band. And he was also the first Afro-American musician to break into the NBC staff orchestra, which is better known as the Tonight Show Band.
Great character, terrific smile, jazz musician all his life. I would think that the university gets more prestige by having somebody like Clark. I mean, he's a world-class musician, known all over the world, and he's great with the kids.
Jazz is an essay, really. The more individuality you have, you know, the better it is for you. And he's definitely got that, you know. And he's given so much to the kids, you know, that, I mean, all over the world he's helped musicians, you know. Some of them, they just like Clark. I call them Clark's clones.
So always listen linearly as well as rhythmically. And this will get you through all kinds of problems. Make sure you...
I had a situation when I was a kid, and I used to ask questions, and the old-timers would delight in telling us wrong answers so they could go home and gloat. Well, we got rid of another one of those little whippersnappers, you know, and I think that those of us to whom this type of thing has happened made up our minds that if there ever came a chance where we could be important enough to impart some knowledge to the kids for the movement, I think we bend over backwards to do it. And when it happens, and when you impart some knowledge to the kids, and you can see that they're benefiting from it, that's the greatest medicine in the world.
Yeah. Hold it. Everybody say do. Everybody do. Just one note. Do. Hold it then. Do.
He'll walk into a room of students, probably not knowing exactly what he's going to do, and not knowing any of the students, not knowing their backgrounds. And by the end of 40 minutes or an hour, he will have everyone in that room playing music together, improvising together, even if it's at a very basic level. His ability to get through to the kids in such a positive way that they don't even realize that they're learning, they're having fun, he's funny. He's just got a great way about him to get his point across. And all of a sudden the kids leave there knowing so much more just by being around him. To have him in his experience and knowledge around at UNH is just such a privilege. And I hope the kids realize what a privilege it is. I think down the road they'll be like, man, we're so lucky to have Clark Terry around here.
I can remember watching Clark on stage and my eyes wide and just, you know, mesmerized. And he was a huge influence on me as a student. And since then I've gone on to become a public school teacher. And now I bring my students to see Clark. What Clark has really taught us is that passing on the language is the most important thing. I hope that my students that I say, you know, go to UNH, you'll get a great experience there, can come up here knowing that every semester, every year, they'll get to meet the great masters and learn the language from the great masters.
When you can sit with Clark Terry, here's the inventor of a lot of stuff. And he was there with some of the massive inventors like Ellington, you know. He was there, rubbing elbows every night. And he's passing this to you. I mean, you can't pay for that.
In a different fashion. One of the cardinal sins when I sit in with people who play Satin Doll, they'll always say, and I happen to be there when Ellington wrote it and he wrote it syncopated.
We play the tunes all the time, but to be there with the creator of that music, I can only imagine what that's like. And then he passes that on to us. Then we get that feeling and it just kind of keeps going like that.
Clark has always been my biggest idol professionally, musically. And every time he's come to UNH and given all the students personal attention, incredible guidance, the list of people that he's touched is in the millions, and if I can do a tenth of that, I know that I will have a very successful life.
Thank you. Thank you, though.
I've never had so much fun in class before.
Thank you.
Clark has brought truly an international perspective, and everywhere he goes, UNH goes with him, I believe. And I know he speaks of UNH highly, and so I think UNH has both gained from his immediate attention at the university, but also as he takes the message out around the world. He's truly a global citizen musically in that way.
I feel so very especially blessed to be a part of this university, and I'm sure you've all traveled from time to time, and when you go back home, you know, that feeling of contentment and happiness, and well, that's every time I come here I feel that way.